There's a strange reflex that's showing up in these modern encounters, what I'm calling the post Vegas protocol shift. In June 2023, a young man named Angel in Las Vegas saw something land in his backyard, something not human. He did what almost anyone would do, he called 911. But what happened next was not much. The cops came, they looked around, they left, no follow up. And in fact, one of the officers even said, yeah, maybe next time don't call us. Now, fast forward to Compton 2025. Jessica Ortiz sees something strange on a ring camera at 1:03 a.m. Her 15-year-old son watches the footage, rewinds it, watches it again, and says, Mom, it's an alien, call the cops. But this time, she doesn't. She calls her neighbor, her auntie, instead. She gathers context. She checks the footage. She doesn't even check outside, not out of fear, but, well, maybe out of fear, but maybe also out of experience. That's a deeper starting from the form. That maybe law enforcement isn't equipped for this. Maybe we need a different protocol. And that's what we're seeing now. Not a loss of trust, something more specific, a pivot, a shift. Post Vegas, people aren't calling the cops. They're calling each other. They're looking at the footage. They're looking at the evidence. They're documenting the truth themselves. And in my opinion, that might be the smartest move yet. This has been Scott Roeder. This is Absolute Proof. And I love you, planet Earth.
Okay, this is a phone call with Jessica in Los Angeles, California. We're doing an interview regarding an incident June 5th, 2025, 1:03 a.m., captured on her Ring doorbell camera. Okay, so Jessica, we've gotten some statements from you already, pretty comprehensive about what happened. A couple of things that I wanted to ask you on the record. You said about 20 minutes before the Ring camera kind of popped off that you had this feeling of kind of fear.
That was my aunt next
Okay.
door that had that. She's the one that heard those sounds on the roof of her home, and that she heard two of them, and then after the second one, she said she heard like scratching and like some, I guess like crawling noises, like. And then she heard another loud bang, and after the third one, she said she felt, really scared and felt the need to go to her room and pray. She knew whatever the noise was, it wasn't outside in the backyard. It wasn't like under the house. She knew that it was coming from the roof of the home. She's probably like maybe almost 60, 50
Okay.
something, 60 years old.
And how long has she
Hmm.
lived as your neighbor over there?
She's probably been there about maybe 6 years.
Okay. And how long have you lived at your residence?
We've been there over 20 years.
Okay. And you live
Yeah.
there with your mom and your son.
My mom, my son, and my daughter.
Okay. And let me ask you now, you said that the dogs were sleeping and did not wake up, correct?
At all. Nothing. They were out. I even turned and looked after. My dog's head was hanging off the bed. I was like, what? This is not good security. But
Eh,
yeah, they were dead asleep.
Okay. But your dogs would normally bark at somebody coming through the gate?
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. And they especially the little one, the Maltese, he hears a sound from far away. We won't even hear it, and he's already barking at the door, and he won't stop. Even the neighbors that live in the back that he sees every single day, he'll bark like crazy at them. We're always making fun of him because he sees them every day. Why are you still barking? But even them, but this time they didn't make any noise at all.
Right, because typically, I mean, I have two dogs, and even if they hear somebody drive by the house at 1 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna freak out and bark. So, you
Yeah.
find it odd that your dogs had no reaction to the fence being open?
I Oh yeah, I do because as soon as they hear, like I said, even our neighbors, they're on him. Especially the little one, he's on top of them all the time. I even have to constantly like feel like stop, because he's so loud and he's back to back barking until they go into their door. That's when our back gate to their front door, he nonstop barking.
Now, let me ask you this: did you hear the gate open Out before you had the alert on your phone?
Yeah, I remember hearing it.
Okay. Did you have your windows open or closed, air conditioning on or off?
The windows were open, but the curtains were closed.
Okay. What kind of a night was
Mhm.
it? Was it a warm night, cool night,
Oh, it was a warm night.
but not like
Yeah,
so
because the windows
warm
were
that you
open.
had to have the house buttoned up with the air conditioning on full blast?
Oh no, no, we didn't have it up yet.
Okay. Okay, so now you obviously saw the ring camera footage and posted it and wanted some answers, and then I contacted you regarding that, and I sent you some videos that we put together, some animations, some 3D modeling based on um, what we've seen in the video, uh, and I estimated that this little creature maybe is about 3 feet tall, and when this creature goes by your porch and down your driveway, I think you said about 15 feet approximately.
Yeah, about 15 feet.
Yeah, to get to the gate. Does the gate open in the center, like toward? Would you have to pull it towards you or push it open?
Push it towards the back of the house.
Okay. And when you went outside, eventually, I'm assuming you went outside at some point the next morning. When did you actually go outside?
The next morning, yeah, for sure. I did not go out that night.
Okay, about what time did?
Uh,
So this happened at 1:03 a.m. and you went outside what time the next morning?
Probably about 10:30 or so.
Okay.
10:30 a.m.
And when you went out at 10:30 a.m., did you notice that the gate was open or closed at that time?
No, the gate's always closed because of the dogs, so we never leave it open. And it was closed.
So this creature went through your gate, opened it, slammed it, and then closed it.
Well, opened it and closed it.
Right,
Yeah, it,
opened
it
it and
didn't sound
closed it.
because it would have been like a loud noise. Yeah, it was just like a regular, you know, it didn't sound much louder than it usually does.
Right. I find that interesting that this visitor, this creature, this critter, whatever he is, that he
Mhm.
opened the gate, and then he had the courtesy to close the gate when he went into the backyard. So let me ask you this:
Yeah,
um, where is there anywhere in your backyard where you can get access to like a main road? Because I saw the pictures that the video that you sent me. It looks like there's a kind of a large concrete like mini wall, like maybe 8 foot wall in the back.
where's
Yeah, I
my
mean, like
wall?
what's? I guess my question is, what's behind there? Like other properties,
Oh yeah,
or is there like a
other property.
highway access nearby?
No, no, no. They're all other homes.
Okay.
Uh
Um,
huh.
Now, did you notice anything like off in your backyard? Did you notice any footprints? Did you notice any of your possessions were changed? Was there anything in your backyard that you noticed that was kind of just out of order or
Out
different
of
or
place.
odd?
No, no, we don't. We really honestly don't have a whole lot of stuff back there, but no, no, nothing that I noticed that was out of regarding the gate. It could have also sounded like if he jumped on it. No, I don't think it would make the same noise.
I mean, he could have
No.
jumped over it, like jumped on it and over it. That's possible too.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Someone said like it materializes. It was the word that I heard that I was like,
right.
okay, that
Yeah, he just
that
materialized
describes
out of
it.
thin air.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I find it so bizarre. And there's like a light that kind of flashes right before you see him show up. I wonder if that's the light from your ring camera. Do you think that it's that picking up on the motion?
I'm not sure, but what I could do is that I could look for a few other videos at night to see if it does the same thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Like
And
if the
also,
light
it would be
flashes,
really
you know what I
great.
mean? That way we can compare.
That would be amazing. Oh, and also if you could do record one video, say maybe tonight at 1:03 a.m. of you coming up the driveway, and then I can get your height, so that way we can do a real good comparison on how tall
Okay.
this creature is based on how tall you are, and then compare it to the creature, and then we could see if
Okay.
that light shines out, and we could do some. I think what it is the light is pixelating the dark where the creature's coming out of. So I think it's just kind of a normal video artifact. But
Uh huh.
I think it's really strange that he just kind of
The way it just
materializes
comes
out
up.
of thin air. Yeah.
I know. When I saw it, I kept looking at it and kept. I was like, "What the heck is this?" Like, I couldn't, I couldn't, I couldn't believe it. It freaked me out completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
What did your son say about it?
he was so scared. My son is 6'2". He's 15. He's 6'2", and he's like 270. He's a big, solid kid, and
Oh
he's like,
wow.
"Mom, close my windows." I was like, "Kid." And he's just like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Can you walk me to my grandma's room so I can show her?" I was like, "Are you serious? This big baby?" But it was, and I did. I closed his windows, but I didn't even look through the window. I put my hand through the curtain and closed it because I didn't even want to look through.
It's almost like people get into like a state of shock.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the first thing my son said, because I told him, Kevin, look at this video, because I even kept saying to myself out loud, I was like, I'm going crazy, like I'm really losing my mind when I was looking at the video when I first saw it. And so I gave him the phone and I was like, Kevin, please look at this for me. And he sat up and he saw it, and I could see him like replay it with his finger, just keep going back and replay it. And after I think like the third or fourth time, he's like, "Mom, that's an alien. Call the cops." And I was like, "I'm not calling the cops on an alien, Kevin. Like, I'm not doing that, you know." But it was funny. But after we just kind of sat there, and I'm like looking at him, and I didn't want to go to my room. And he's just sitting there looking at me, and I'm like, "What do we do?" I
Right.
had no clue what to do. Like, I didn't know if, I mean, it didn't make any noise in the back. I didn't hear anything. I didn't like I didn't feel like it was back there. I was just too afraid to look. And I didn't know. I mean, I know for a fact it didn't bother us. It didn't, do anything to scare us. I think if it was there to hurt us, it would have done it.
Right. It
Um,
looked like he was just passing through,
yeah,
for
yeah,
whatever reason. Yeah.
yeah. After, I mean, that's why everybody's like, "Oh, you should move those angels and do this," and I'm like, "No, I don't feel threatened. It didn't scare me. Like, it didn't do anything to intimidate me or anything like that. So I mean, I'm not gonna change anything or do anything.
Right. Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, at that moment, I didn't know what to do. I was like, "Oh my God!" Like, I don't. It just kind of froze there for like a good 30 minutes. We were still on our phones, like, and that's. I actually posted it right away. Like, as soon as it maybe not even an hour after it happened.
Oh,
The
you
first thing I
posted
did
it an
was
hour
call.
after it happened.
Yeah, I called first. I called my neighbor because it happened at 103. I saw it probably about 4 minutes after. And since he was looking at the video, and I think it was like 109. I have the call there. I called her like at 109.
Uh huh.
Took up my neighbor, the one that lives in the back. She's on the second floor, and I asked her like if her parents had passed by or if anybody had gone in and out of the house, and she said no. And I asked her, go downstairs and check with your parents. So she goes. They both said no. That's when I got scared. When I was like, okay, nobody went through. So this couldn't have been a person, you know?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense that it would be a person. At that time of the day. Now, where did you post it at? What time? What time and where did you post the video?
On my Instagram, the original first video that I have on there, that's the
Okay.
very first one that I posted. Um, Everybody says it looks like Roger.
Like Roger?
What is that? Is that the name of that alien, or like a cartoon character or something like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. From oh, it does look
There we
familiar from
go.
American Dad.
That's what I've seen a lot in the
Wait.
comments. That was one of the main things. And then some people are kind of comparing it to like the part in the movie Signs where that alien comes up, where it like passes by and it scares the
Yeah.
dad.
Vámonos, children. Vámonos.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's my
That
favorite
part.
movie of all time. I
I
love it.
bet that's
I,
a really good movie. Sounds good.
I think you just, and I just mean you sent you
Okay.
a friend request on Facebook as well.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jessica.
Okay.
I will
Thank
talk to
you.
you
Uh huh.
later. All right. Thanks. Feel
Okay.
free to call me if
Take
you have
care.
any updates or developments. Text me or call me.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Jessica. Bye.
No worries. Bye bye.